So our good friend Erin is visiting, and like the good friends that we are, we put him to work.
You go to your friend's house, you expect to just get fed food and hang out for a few days. Look what happens.
They're tearing up these border stone we're going to be creating a shade garden, but we're stealing the border stone from around this apple tree. And Miss Lucy and Ranger are best pals, aren't you guys? She stole his toy. My zinnia's finally blooming. Isn't that pretty? Tore up a lot of beets. As you can see, we pickled them and all my garlic's torn up. Baby and I are gonna go pick some strawberries. Show the size and beauty of these strawberries. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? There's one there. Gorgeous. There's one thing I love is fresh berries from the garden. I have my raspberries over here, my strawberries here, my blueberries there. We have a wild blackberry patch. There's just nothing that beats homegrown berries. Yes. So I was picking my strawberries today and thought I would bring you along and kind of explain, give you my one tip for getting big, beautiful strawberries. And it's so easy. All you need is your fingers. You could use pruning shears if you want, but I just use my fingers. So first of all, in this bed here, I have my Everbearing strawberries. There are several varieties of strawberries, and the most common are what we call June bearing. They produce a big crop, usually in the early summer, sometime around June, which is how they get their name, June bearing. And then you have the Everbearing, like I have in this bed. I have my June bearing back there, and my Everbearing in this bed. And as the name implies, these produce throughout the year, Everbearing. So they produce throughout the summer growing season. The one thing with the June bearing versus the Everbearing is the June bearing tend to produce a really big crop in the early summer, and they tend to be slightly smaller strawberries, but they are prolific. So it's great for like if you want to make pies or freeze or can. The June bearing are fabulous because they'll produce a really big crop for you all at once. The June bearing are really great because even though they produce less fruit, they produce bigger fruit and a little bit all summer long. So it's really great for like fresh eating. So I have both because I like the benefit of having a big crop at the beginning to freeze and do stuff with, and then the crop that slowly produces throughout the summer to eat fresh. Everbearing do tend to produce bigger fruit. So if you're wondering why your fruit is so small and then it's gone for the rest of the year, you probably have a June bearing variety. So what is my one tip for getting big strawberries? Like I said, it's very easy. And let me show you what it is. It's that. Now you may be wondering, what on earth is this? What I just did was I picked off a runner from the strawberry plant. These can also be called suckers, but runners tend to make more sense. Each mother strawberry plant wants to reproduce, not just fruit, but they actually want to create more plants. And so they send off these things called runners, which are long shoots. And at the very end, you can see there's a little green tip here. This will turn into a plant if it touches soil. It will create roots, and then you have another plant. A lot of people think, well, why wouldn't I want a lot of plants of strawberries? And I get your reasoning. A lot of people let their strawberries fully produce, and they get this big mat of strawberry plants. But then they'll notice that they'll get a lot of leaves and greenery without a lot of fruit. And if they do get fruit, they tend to be a lot smaller. By pruning off the runners, you have the plant focus its energy, instead of reproducing, of actually producing fruit, bigger and sweeter fruit. So that's it. That's the simple trick. And I just use my fingers. Let me show you how I do it. So I'm going to show you. Here is the mother plant right here that I planted myself. Now this mother plant produced this long shoot. Can you see that? How long that is? It's very obvious that this is not part of the a leaf or anything like that. You see how a leaf looks? Comes up and there's 3 leaves there. This one creates a long shoot and there's tiny little leaves here at the end getting ready to produce a plant. And I'll show you how I pick it off. Basically what I do, and I'm gonna use my right hand because I'm just better at it, is I just pinch it. If you pull, you could pull up the mother plant, so you don't want to do that. Now that I'm trying to show you, I'm having trouble with it. Here. See it? Just pinch it off. There we go. Just pinched it off right there. There we go. Now, sometimes it's possible you might pull off a leaf. That's okay. But do try to make sure that when you check these, that they look just like this when you pull them off. And I have 2 right here, so I'm going to pull those off too. I'm just going to pinch those. There we go. And then this one right here. Come on. Like I said, now that I'm videotaping this, it's going to be hard. There we go. There's the tip. I'll show you what a runner looks like when it's a little bit more mature. So here's the tip. Comes all the way out to the end. You can see here, that looks like a little mini plant. And then now it's producing another runner. It could just go on and on like that and just create this big mat. And like I said, a lot of people just let their strawberries do that. But by pruning these off, I've now focused the energy of the mother plant into creating big juicy fruit, and a lot of it. So there you go. You can just have a little closer look. So there you have it. My one easy tip for getting big, juicy, beautiful strawberries. Now, obviously there's a lot of other things to do, such as make sure you're fertilizing your strawberries, that you're consistently watering them so they don't get too dry. All of that is really crucial. But this is the one tip that a lot of people don't realize helps with bigger producing strawberries. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. Go out and grow something. God bless. I can't handle it anymore. Oh, it's like a meal.